Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about the subject of, do parallel universes exist? Well, for me, it's a question that I've always been asking myself, and I really think it's a fun topic. Obviously, it's kind of difficult to know if they really do exist or not, but for me anyways, I'll say they do. And obviously, I do think that a lot of people in our society might be thinking the same thing, or at least they're fascinated by it because of just the vast majority of number of films that have that subject. And so what do we really think about parallel universes? Well, it all stems from the theory called Mtheory that was proposed by Albert Einstein, where he was saying that there are an infinite number of universes all coexisting at the same time with an infinite amount of different possibilities and reactions. So for every action or reaction, for every movement, for every possibility, there is an actual universe with a possibility. Does that blow your mind? I don't know. Well, for me, the thing is, it's kind of a little bit hard to imagine. It's like, how could you quantify the number infinite? How can you even see it? I mean, in my head, it's something that almost impossible and intrinsically, it's hard to really be able to imagine that if you really think about it. Because what is infinite? Can you imagine the number infinite? When they say that the universe is ever expanding, can we actually really imagine that? And on top of that, they always say that for every positive, there's negative. So even beyond our universe that is supposedly expanding and then eventually it's probably going to retract, there should be an antimatter universe that's the opposite of what we have. But taking that into account, you got to think that already you being born is probably something like 1 chance in 450 billion. So just the fact that you're born means you're super lucky. But what if some other sperm had fertilized the egg in the womb? What if at one point during your development you didn't get a surge, or I didn't get a surge in testosterone and I didn't become a male, I would have been a female? What if at the place of going left, I went right one day? Because if you really think about a lot of things in life are often happening to you by mistake and randomness and pure luck or no luck or bad luck. And obviously, of course, the more you surround yourself by something that you want to become or that you want to do, the more chances you have of getting to that, because just the mere chance of you meeting the right person or you being able to master whatever technique you're trying to master, well, you're just enabling the fact that in this world you enable the fact that you can have more chances at doing that. But what's fun for me is that for every option, for everything that can happen, there is a universe where that thing could have happened. But of course there's things that cannot be that in some way are not possible, because if you really think about that, for every possibility there's a reality, then that means that nobody has truly lived and nobody has truly died, because then one of the possibilities would be that you would never die, right? Or you would never age. But these are kind of facts that are in our biology. So for us to maybe realize and understand that multiple universes can exist, then you also have to accept the fact that there are some forces on this earth that, or in the whole universe, that just cannot be changed. But maybe some things can be, and some things can't, basically. But what if we did live in a universe where gravity on Earth was not 6 times greater than gravity on the moon, and the moon had the gravity of the Earth and we had the gravity of the moon? How would that impact society and stuff like that? But let's just say that the rules of physics, no matter what, in every universe will have to be the same. The only thing that can actually be changed in all of that is basically what actions we take, going to the left, going to the right. And some things that are just impossible remain impossible. Like if you were to have a job and you just don't show up all the time, well, you can't keep on having that job, then your life will basically completely change because you will have lost that job. And that's why they say the butterfly effect. And it's kind of crazy in some way, because it's true that one thing can really completely change the history of mankind. Think about it. If there wasn't a meteorite that had crashed on Earth at one certain point in the history of it, then maybe dinosaurs would have still existed. And at the same time, maybe we would have never developed in the same way that we developed. Apparently, I was reading some articles, and they say just the fact that we have our own consciousness and the fact that the brain developed in the way that it did, like it did so big, was because of a mutation that was created due to some illness, like before humans even existed, when we were still monkeys and stuff like that, before the evolution had taken place. I mean, the evolution had already obviously taken place, but it led us into this kind of way because of some bacteria and some mutation that occurred from it through time in the brain, which made it expand so much. And really the fact is what makes us human in some way is that consciousness. But what's funny is that we often think of ourselves as somewhat superior to a lot of animals and stuff like that. But what I think is interesting is that how do we know that animals don't have consciousness too, if you really think about it? Monkeys have been able to distinguish themselves in a mirror, and they've been able to recognize themselves. They've been able to mourn death and recognize people, and it's been shown in a lot of popular videos where lions get super excited to see the people that had raised them as kids, and it's so funny. And we're also there's myths such as fish have a memory of 3 seconds and stuff like that, but it's been proven that if you take care of a fish, they will actually be able to recognize you even when long periods of time have passed. It's just that they express themselves in different ways, and maybe we're not able to understand them because it's somewhat lost in translation, because we intrinsically always look at how the eyes express themselves, and if we're able to recognize that, then we tend to be able to relate to it. That's why we love dogs so much, for example, as human beings, because oftentimes the eyes of dogs have similar expressions than we humans have. But I wonder too if maybe that also happened because we've cohabitated with them for so long that eventually they kind of evolved in that way. And I just think it's interesting because, again, it comes back to the fact of multiple realities, where just the mere fact that one action changed, in this case the meteorite landing on Earth and creating a big smoke, a big cloud of dust, got the dinosaurs extinct, and then we were able to evolve in a better way, and we were able to rise because we were small. All mammals in those days were just small rodents and stuff, but they were able to survive because they were small. So naturally everything evolved in a smaller fashion. But what if it never happened? Maybe there would have been bigger creatures and bigger things. I think that's interesting. Anyways, have a great day and enjoy your day. Talk to you soon.